Crime, guilty verdict. Hunter Biden found guilty, all 3 counts. This is William Steele. We have Ignacio Esteban, retired ATF agent for almost 30 years.
Yeah, man. Bill,
Ignacio, what does
we've
this
talked
mean?
about this. We've talked about this for a while. I predicted that he will be found guilty on all counts from our last show. You can look that up. And then once I start seeing the evidence, especially with his former sister-in-law turned girlfriend, which is kind of stomach revolting to myself, at least within a family, I find that to be very strange and weird. But her testimony was so compelling. I mean, she pretty much said when they got in their relationship, got her hooked up on crack cocaine, that she feared for his life, and he was still involved in drugs through all this time period. He lied about it, and then she feared for his life, feared for his safety and others, and threw it in a trash can in Delaware. I think it was in Wilmington, in a public mall area. And he panicked. He said, "You can't do it. It's under my name. I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to find out about it. You got to go get that gun back." And they call the police. They lie about it, and they couldn't find it. And when they started looking around, a homeless person had the weapon, a revolver. It was unloaded, but that could change very easily, and it was a very dangerous situation. I think, folks, go check the videos online. Go check what's going on with Hunter Biden. Go see what he stood for. And the question is now, Bill, well, what will his dad do now? Is he going to pardon him? You think he's going to let him sit in a federal prison? I think not.
I have a quick question. So Hunter Biden was completely strung out on crack and cocaine, needed treatment. I dealt with the cocaine issue years ago. Free and clear now over 20 years. This guy knew it. The whole world knew it. And he was signing for guns, claiming he was drug free and he wasn't in treatment or anything like that. Now, you, as a retired ATF agent, for my audience, Ignacio has investigated these identical cases and seen them prosecuted.
Yes.
Firstly, everybody, please, they say, I screwed up, whatever, they get a decent plea. This guy goes to trial. He's going to get slammed for not admitting responsibility when it's so cut and dry. It's sort of like a prima facie established case. In other words, you're guilty on the surface because you signed the document. Ignacio, what law did he violate? What was he supposed to do? What didn't he do? And what do these convictions mean?
What you should do is when you read the form and it says, "Are you still using drugs or you're an addict of it?" And obviously he was. You can't check. You can't say, "No, I'm not." He says, "Yes, I am." And the second he checks it. So you walk into a store, right? And you go into an FFL, a federal firearms licensee. You got to fill out a form to purchase a weapon. So if you're a convicted felon and you have a felony, they're going to do a background check. But drugs is different because there's no check to see if you're using or not, right? So it's an honor system. But if you lie in the form and later agents like myself can prove it, well, that's up to 10 years. Right. Up to 10 years lying those forms. It's ATF form 4473 ATF transaction form. It's a lot of questions. You have to be truthful. Don't provide bad information. A lot of people sometimes, what they do, Bill? They bring in fake IDs because they have a criminal history and they try to get in there passing by somebody else. That's why I've always said, it's in my book. How you have pawn shops. You go in there when you have pawning property. You should also put in a fingerprint so you can check that to make sure they're the same person. Because a lot of people don't use their real names or identification. There's a lot of problems. We have a lot of faults in the system. This was a good case, and he was this close, Bill, taking that deal, but it fell through at the end for him. He should have taken the deal because now I think he could get up to. I think he'll get. It's up to 10 years, 3 different counts. He was also in possession. He was a danger. His sister-in-law panicked, or girlfriend at the time. There's a lot of factors in here. A homeless person had the weapon that he had purchased. There's a lot of factors in here I don't like. Maybe the judge will hit him hard. Maybe he will get 10 years. Then I think Pops comes in and says, Junior, he can't sit in the can.
Right. And don't take my excitement for this conviction as, me coming down hard on somebody struggling with a drug problem. I've been there. 20 years ago, I went through the cocaine mess. We're coming down hard and a little bit excited about this because these political prosecutions against an innocent person, Donald Trump, as opposed to the president's son, who we have a president who said that blacks were super predators. He said that people should get 20 years in prison, I think, for a little tiny piece of crack. And he was the one who passed the 1994 crime bill, which put people like me, nonviolent offenders, serving 85% of my sentence and not getting the help I needed at the time. So this is an arrogant family, stole allegedly tens of millions of dollars from enemies all over the world. You can't make this stuff up. And the man stumbling around in office, even my Democrat friends whom I love, they're very dear friends of mine, are not going to be voting for Biden, and they don't know what
Oh,
to do.
good,
They don't know
good.
what to do. They're changing parties, some of them. I know they're
Hopefully they don't
conflicted,
show up,
and I
Bill.
get it. It's
Yeah.
one thing to have beliefs. It's another thing to ram all these millions of illegals down your throat,
Oh
have
no,
a
it's
have a
awful. It's
completely
awful.
corrupt son, yet have no compassion for anybody else's kid. You know,
Bill, this is the first of two trials. The
yeah,
nightmare continues for him. In another week or so, he has the IRS now. He did not file taxes for years. He owes for about $2 million in back taxes. Where does he get all that money? Where was he making all that money, Bill? You think
right.
a guy that has a crack addiction? Where was he making that kind of money? Well, he was making the money because of working as a consultant or contacts for his father with China, Ukraine, other countries. Energy industry. What background does he have to be able to do that kind of work? He does not. It's a shame.
I was wondering if you know who appointed the current judge on the bench that just heard this case. It's a federal case, obviously.
Yes,
Now I saw on the news when they found him guilty, the judge immediately read the verdict, didn't wait for anybody except for him and his lawyers to get back. So the first family wasn't even there. So they just showed Jill Biden running into the courthouse a few seconds ago. And so that was it. He was seen hugging his defense lawyer. We wish him all the best in his recovery, but this is a joke already that the Democrats are perpetrating on good people, including, they say they represent minorities and blacks. They've imprisoned so many people and literally called blacks super predators. This is
Bill.
disgusting what they've done to this
Who
country.
do you think is to get more time? Donald Trump in New York City or Hunter Biden here in the federal case?
They're going to try to imprison Trump for something because it was 37
Yeah.
counts. He's facing 85 years. It's all misdemeanors. No other prosecutor would pick up the case. You have
Who
a
do you think is
corrupt
getting more time?
prosecutor who's under all these people are under investigation. So the Banana Republic guys are all going down. They're going to be in prison. Fannie Willis and the rest of them.
Oh,
How do
she's
you go
awful.
after the wealthiest,
She's
one of the
awful.
wealthiest people on planet Earth, who also happened to be a former president? You might not like the slick things he said. He's a cocky New Yorker. I get it. Some people don't like the way we talk, especially him. He tends to call people's names and all that. But he was a highly effective president. You can't
He's a
take that away from
counterpuncher, Bill. Right? He doesn't take anything. He's a counterpuncher.
him. He
You
does
call him a
everything.
name personal. He takes it and he goes back and he's the king of Twitter,
Yeah,
right? He was the
he
king of
does.
X at Twitter.
He says he does everything bigly. Bigly is
Bigly, he's bigly. He handled things. I think Hunter's gonna get some serious time, Bill. Between both
okay.
cases, he's gonna get some serious time. Now, I just don't know if it's based on all the issues his father's having, all the issues with his son and the crack cocaine addiction, all the problems. Is he really gonna let? And Jill, the first lady, she's pretty much heartbroken. Are they really gonna let their son do? I don't think so. I
No,
really think even if it costs him the presidency for the second term, he will pardon Hunter. And this is my opinion. I know he said he didn't. He will not serve a day.
absolutely right. And honestly, if I was the father, I would do the exact same thing. So we all know where this is going. These are all federal charges. Biden has the ability to pardon himself also before he walks out, even before he's charged with a crime. They can
Yeah.
shut down the federal investigation part. Let's get going and want to get this thing posted right away.
Yeah,
Any
man.
further thoughts? Any further thoughts about Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden, I think it shows when you have the right people in for investigation and it shows what's going on. No one is above the law, not even the son of a sitting president.
Right. And from my point of view, no one's above the law, but they also needs to be with addiction matters of compassion.
Sure.
The arrogance that these family has shown and the fact that we have 85% sentencing in almost every state right now because of Joe Biden. I've seen families destroyed, parents not seeing their kids anymore, people committing, because of the harsh sentencing practices that these Democrats brought in with the crime bill of 1994 that Biden pushed for. It was his bill.
And we need to secure the border, Bill. We need to secure the border and get people the help they need because fentanyl is a major crisis.
Exactly. So let's do some more shows on this. We want to get this out. This is breaking news. Hunter
Thank you.
Biden convicted on all 3 counts, purchasing guns while he was an admitted drug addict, which is illegal, signed off on it. Former ATF agent here, Ignacio Esteban. Proud to have you as my co-host and providing spot-on commentary right after you came off another interview. This has been breaking news from Ignacio and Bill. William Steele.